Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism is the sponsor of our episode today. Warm temps and fresh seafood make the Alabama Gulf Coast the perfect beach destination for your family vacation, couples getaway, outdoor adventure, meetings, conferences, and conventions. Jackie McGonigal is the coordinator of the City of Orange Beach's Wind and Water Learning Center, and we are excited today to learn about the center and the services that it provides for its locals and guests to really fully embrace this coastal area through the facilities, the equipment, and education, and the variety of sports that come with it. So, Jackie, it is a pleasure to have you on the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Fantastic. And I really am appreciative of Easton Colvin and Kay Mahan from the Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism, because they're really introducing me to some pretty amazing people. And I got to say, your job is, I'm a little envious because I'm in the middle of the desert right now. There's not a lot of water around. I really am excited to learn about the Wind and Water Learning Center. But before we do, I'd like to learn just a little bit more about you. How did you end up in this role as the coordinator?
Sure. I feel like it was kind of a culmination of a lot of things. I grew up here in community actually, and I got a pretty lengthy background at this point in outdoor leadership, environmental science, education, and field settings. But I spent a lot of time as a child on the waterways that I now teach on. And I just wanted to find ways to infuse not only my academic background within biology, ecology, community-based conservation. I wanted to use outdoor recreation as a way to lead people towards environmental stewardship and especially appreciation and protection of our coastal waterways here. The opportunity just kind of fell in my lap. I never imagined that I would be a sailing and a kayaking instructor. And I really, even though I do a lot of that in my day to day, I first and foremost consider myself to be an outdoor educator specifically for environmental science, and getting to sail and kayak and share that type of thing with people, whether they're residents of Orange Beach or visitors to our area. It really is a great job. I couldn't have asked for a better gig.
Fantastic. Now, I'm curious, first, where did you go to school to get your education?
I attended the University of Montevallo, where I got my undergrad in biology.
Okay.
And then much later, I went back and got my master's from Miami University, also in biology, with a concentration in community-based conservation.
Okay. Now, Miami University, we're talking Midwest here.
We're talking Oxford, Ohio,
Okay. All right. And what's their mascot?
the Red Hawk.
The Red Hawk. Okay. I didn't know that. I grew up in the Midwest in Detroit, and I've lived in Chicago for a good portion of my life. And now I don't recognize you said you were born and raised in the South and in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area. I don't recognize the Southern accent there. So something changed in your life, but do you ever get mistaken for a Northerner?
No, absolutely not. I love fried food and sweet tea too much.
Okay. Okay. When I first moved to Montgomery, as I was there for a year, I stopped at a McDonald's and I asked for tea, iced tea. And little did I know I was going to get a sweet tea. I learned right then and there it's either sweet tea or cold tea. So,
Mhm.
all right, lessons learned. So, how did you land this job at the Wind and Water Learning Center, or were there some other types of positions that you had before ending where you're at right now?
Sure. Um, Well, I started off volunteering with Graham Creek Nature Preserve, which is a couple towns north of us. They have a phenomenal team that they were also placing a very heavy emphasis on getting kids into outdoor settings and appreciating the natural resources that we have here. I volunteered with Wolf Bay Watershed Watch while I was doing that same stuff at Graham Creek. And so just by doing that, I met a really great mentor, who I still consider a mentor of mine, Leslie Gahagan, and she taught me so much about issues that we're facing our area, in ways that we could better protect our environment, but then also open doors for people to come in and work within environmental fields and introduce them to these concepts, but in a lighthearted, fun way, like teaching kids about water quality and doing it through kayaking on a field trip instead of just sitting in a classroom being lectured about what could potentially be a very boring topic. So starting off with that and spending a substantial amount of time learning from her and growing in leadership with her. Then I hopped over to a nonprofit for a little while that was very much focused on some of the same issues, but with a little bit of a twist. And from there, this opportunity came up, and it was a blank canvas, and I was given the freedom to sort of make it what I wanted, and the opportunity was it was too good to pass up, and it still allowed me to work with some of the colleagues and peers that I had initially from years ago. So I took it.
Fantastic. Well, the beauty and the strength we have is when an opportunity presents itself, that we stop in the moment and are able to embrace it, because some of us, we miss it. Could be looking at our cell phone for that matter. But
Yeah.
you, it sounds like opportunities came your way and you recognized it. So,
It
and
really
yeah,
I do think it really does come down with the people that are working along the northern Gulf Coast. The environmental field is a pretty small field in the
yeah,
South, especially locally. And I think no matter which municipality or organization we're working for, we still very much work together all the time. And I think having had the opportunity to work with some leaders within this industry down here, it's I feel like they really paved the way for me to be where I am right now, and I'm looking forward to still growing in this role and turning it into something even bigger.